Have you ever wanted to make a video game? Hey everyone, I'm ST Cash and welcome to my channel. This past year, I've been on an amazing journey learning game development. My process included making 30 video game prototypes as a solo indie developer. Today, I'm excited to share my story with you. I embarked on this journey back in January of 2024. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew I wanted to learn how to make video games. I've always enjoyed creating art, music, and writing short stories, and the idea of making games had been tugging at me. So I set out with one goal: learn how to make great games. It took some time to really line up my compass. I had no idea where to start, and my head was filled with questions and ideas. Where do I learn? What tools do I need? Who do I ask all of these questions? So I just dove in. Unknowledgeable in all forms of programming, I decided to learn by doing. I did some research on game engines and initially downloaded GameMaker, Unreal, and Godot, however you say it. I spent weeks playing with these engines, trying to figure out what I was even doing. Then in mid-March, I found GDevelop, and everything just made sense to me. Stick around to see what other tools I ended up going with. Without further delay, on to the games. The first game I released was Particles, which I submitted to the GDevelop Big Game Jam number 5. Came in 41st place. This game taught me the most important lesson I have learned about game development: back up your games. I didn't back this game up, and a few more mistakes later, I accidentally deleted the entire project. One day I hope to remake this game. The next game I worked on was Quick Haul. This is one of my favorite projects, and I have continued updating it over the year. I learned a lot about designing inventory systems with this one. This is also my most played game currently. I submitted this game to the Scorespace Jam number 30, where it came in 77th place. One of my current projects is a 3D remake of Quick Haul. Next, I entered the Jame Gam number 41 and made the game Brain Wrench, which came in 6th place. This game didn't have too much going on, but I had a lot of fun working on it, and I used it to learn more about building scene menus. The fourth game I made, Retro Unknown, is my favorite, and a project I've continued to work on. Originally submitted to the June Minigame a Month Jam, this was my first real interpretation of the RPG genre. My focus while working on this project was building a stat progression system. The release of this game is when I really knew this is what I wanted to do. At the beginning of July, I found the 1 Hour Game Jam, a game jam where you have 1 hour to make a game. This was exactly what I had been looking for. This was a weekly thing I could participate in and continue to challenge myself alongside other devs. My first 2 submissions were Work Hazard and 1 Hour Battery. Let's just say, you can tell I had no idea what I was doing. A few weeks later, I created Fish with the Flow for the Melon Jam 5. It came in 118th place, but I had a great time making it. I was able to experiment with timers. Shortly after, I started working on Minizone. Minizone is a minigame-based experience that includes some of my 1 Hour Jam entries. I've released multiple versions and plan on making a full version with the best of my minigames included in the future. My next 7 games were Hyper 1 Hour Jam entries. With each week, I worked on my approach to game design, scope control, and setting realistic goals. During this time, I also started focusing heavily on making my own music for my games. I started using Beatbox to create simple songs and eventually turned that into a daily thing. You can find some of that process on my channel. The 16th game I made was Stranger Changer. This game was so fun to make and I still play it. I didn't make this game for a specific jam, but instead had a list of game features I wanted to explore and built this game around that list. I wanted to experiment with power-ups, and I wanted to learn how to upload gameplay footage of my games on YouTube. After Stranger Changer, I participated in 10 more hyper 1-hour game jams, releasing Party Bomb, Nampu Pizza, Maze of Darkness, Power Switch, Driving in Darkness, Chaotic Chowtick, Laser Dash, Dogcat, Up is Down, and Barbecue Chicken. Each of these games came with their own themes and challenges, and I think it was a super exciting way to teach myself so many new things. During this time, I also split Laser Dash into 2 games, 99 Lasers and Laser Dash version 2. This was during a reiteration jam, where the rules were to add to an existing game and change it. Stick around until the end to see the larger projects that I'm currently working on. Throughout this process, I've tried out a lot of different tools in an attempt to optimize my own workflow. I've narrowed it down to a few must-haves for me that make my life way easier. First off, GDevelop, the free open source game engine. I know everyone already has their own engine of choice, but if you're just getting started, I highly recommend GDevelop. It's lightweight, you can use it in the browser if you want, and it's extremely beginner-friendly while still being quite capable. For music, as I mentioned earlier, Beatbox is my go-to. You can make so much stuff with that, and it's extremely easy to use. It's perfect if you want to make retro style or chiptune music. I use Tile for creating 2D maps I want to include in the background. It takes some practice to get the hang of, but it's a truly powerful tool for level design. As for planning, I've tried countless project management tools, but I'm really old school, as in I prefer pen and paper and whiteboards. I tend to keep my to-do list digital, and everything else is analog. I have 2 larger projects on pause right now, Quick Haul 3D and Retro Unknown. Development on these games began over the last half year, but I felt like I had too many things in development at one time and took a short break to wrap other projects up. These are at the top of my to-do list for this year. Retro Unknown now has a full backstory and is being remade with hybrid 2D 3D graphics. The next full game I intend to release is One Shot Stack Down. This game has been in development for quite some time, and I'm excited to share it. One Shot Stack Down is a puzzle shooter. We have one shot to knock the stack down. It's a lot of fun. My goals for my second year of game development are to improve my 3D modeling skills, release my first commercial game, and continue connecting with the awesome community out there. I've gotten a lot of feedback on my games, and I want to say thank you to everyone who has played and contributed to the process. Every single comment, rating, and review has been extremely helpful. Thank you for checking out what I do. If you're still around, follow the page and leave a comment to let me know. If you love video games, why not try making them? I'm ST Cash. Thanks for watching.